Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. Okay. Today we're going to talk about Recorder. It was the book club choice for March, and it was a reread for me, and I loved it as much as I loved it the first time around, but it was a reminder to myself that there's a reason I do not reread books. There was none of the tension and anticipation and surprise. I knew all the twists and turns that were coming. So, it was a nice, affirmation that yes, there's a reason I don't reread. However, I am so thankful I reread it with all of you. It was a truly amazing experience as people picked up Recorder and delved into her story for the first time and absolutely fell in love with her and her story. And that makes me so happy. It truly does. It makes me so happy that everyone who read it with me in March absolutely fell in love with the book. It is not just sci-fi with heart, it's transformative sci-fi. I'm just going to be honest. So if you didn't get a chance to read it with us in March, that's fine. The discussion is still up on Discord. If you want to read it, later and talk about it, feel free. I'll be more than happy to comment as well. And I highly recommend that you do. So, now we come to the part where there's a problem talking about Recorder, because if I share almost anything out of this wonderful book, it will spoil it. And it is truly a book in which you need to go in blind, and expectations need to be, nothing, knowledge, nothing. Don't go in full of spoilers. So I am not going to talk about the book in detail. I cannot talk about the book in detail because it will spoil this book. And that is not the experience I want for anyone to experience. I just truly cannot imagine going into this book spoiled. I will tell you that if you pick up Recorder, and I hope that you do, if you pick it up, you are going to have purchased either the completed trilogy or have them available from your library, because you're going to need to finish the books as soon as you finish Recorder. I promise you this is true. The second book is Aberration, and the third book is Guardian, and they comprise one of my favorite trilogies of all time. Editing Tammy again. I do have to point out one thing based on my I'm So Annoyed book tag video, which I'll link down below. Enclave and Kathy have done everything right. This is paperback, so I didn't expect it to be the same size. My two hardbacks are the same size. All three books have the name of the series and what book number they are on the spine. They look good together. And someday I will repurchase Recorder and hardback so they all match. But Yeah. These books will always be on my shelf. They are so easy to recommend to anyone. You don't have to love sci-fi. You don't have to be scientifically literate to understand these books. You just have to be prepared for the unexpected. And you have to be willing to read 3 books in a row, because I promise you, you cannot end the first book and go, okay, I can read that as a standalone. And if you can, more power to you, because I honestly don't understand how you can do that. It would completely baffle me. I don't think it's possible. But if you like strong female characters, check the box. If you like books that give you reminiscence of 1984, check the box. If you like subtle discussions of faith, check the box. If you enjoy space operas, check the box. If you enjoy books set in space, check the box. Found family, romance, all of it is here. And yet, it doesn't easily categorize into any of that, because it is such a beautifully written story. And it is one that is impossible to forget. And even though I knew what was going to happen, I still cried. And I will tell you, I cried the last 8 chapters like I did the first time. Last 8 chapters, I knew I was going to cry. And there are times where you are so, caught up in the story that you forget you have other things to do, which is the sign of just a beautifully written book. So, it is one of my all-time recommendations across any genre. It is beautifully written. It is beautifully told. And I cannot not recommend this book enough. So, if you haven't picked up Recorder yet, please make plans to do so. I promise you, it will be worth the journey. Editing Tammy, I forgot. The April book choice is A Beautiful Disguise by Rosanna M. White. This is Christian historical fiction. It is set in the Edwardian era in London, and I hope you join us. Please leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.